Back. Oh, my balance. How long? Alright, again. That's the wrong one. We're gonna the cable and stuff. Expect the internet, obviously. It'll keep me help. I even put in the tiles. Don't worry about Kyoko. If the corpse really is Kyoko, if that's really true. Kyoko attacked me last night. If I don't worry about her, maybe I can answer it. No, never the person talks about herself all that much. Get in the roommate a little bit, but find out more. Get in a room.
It's all clear now.
What?
Just give up.
Just have to see her if it's too far. But Bakia, if you do come up with an alibi, I'd be able to hear it later in class. I've tried, but you have to keep the kid's room is open to bar it. You can't take a risk of the prime suspect tomorrow.
What?
Or you, that would be a different. You, that would be a different story. You go with me? You gotta take care of. Find me again later. We'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, I may not. Later, in the meantime, we should go look around somewhere else. Check out that one other area. Expand the floor, but I forget it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I forget. It's found that one.
What?
Found that one missing. Doubt about the fragments I found in the garden. Okay, check everything out I can think of. All left there was Kyoko's room. Back to the garden has to be like anyway.
Let's go.
Check out Kyoko's room, right? Let's go. Wait for me, second class. I hurried after him on the way to the dorms. Kinda like myself. Well then, here we go. It's open. It's like it thinks. Why did that Monokuma key? I got that Monokuma key goes to that Monokuma's door. Kyoko's room. something on the table. It's a wooden block decoration.
What?
This is what purpose does it serve? It's probably a key. Lockers are traditionally public bathhouses used for the lockers. Right now I never go to the public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. I have to picture him doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really what? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's something in the dojo that might go to it. But I don't see anything interesting, at least not as far as the case is concerned.
What?
So what are you looking for? I think I just want to maybe find some clue here. I help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
Can't be serious, that made me. That's why you make maybe take time to start to come here. Sorry. Plan on poking around random. You're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something to give us some sort of direction. More concrete. Oh, I know. Cook gave me something. What's this?
It's true.
Someone terminates now, but yet only open it if something never happens. So. Try it. Yeah. It's in the envelope. Cook gave it to me. Something happened. Let's open it. Okay. The envelope looks inside the single piece of paper. Under the sheet.
What?
Yeah, looks like it. The sheet's what could be. Something made out of the Betty. That's both of the sheets. What's this? A piece of paper. Class 78 registry. Could be her profile. It looks like it. The only thing Kyoko stole when she stuck in the headmaster's room was along with the key. Like that, talking about, Kyoko said death without meaning was unappealing. That's what you look behind. Happy it's something indulgence. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. I made an effort to pull myself together when I looked down at the profile sheet. Beals, the military soldier. Although small for age, he was a military specialist trained in every weapon and type of manual. Showed an interest in the military from childhood, soon found herself completely absorbed in it. Ella, she won a survival skiing tournament and began writing for military magazines. Renting middle school while she and her family vacation, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quietly took over Japanese media outlets. Attempted as an investigation turned up no information she met was never found. She appeared in Japan 30 years later and completely unannounced. Revealed that she had joined the mercenary group known as Fenner for 30 years. If she had not been kidnapped, she received battle training of her own volition. However, she revealed why she did return at home. She never revealed why she returned home. Surgery mercenary group doesn't feel real. It's the world I grew up in. It's a completely different dimension. Like, the non-fiction and the other sci-fi. Way to compare the two. That's how different this is. That's how I saw things that it's an already person, but then
I see.
After I would have the name Fernair, a place like this. Hey, you recognize it?
Naturally.
For a mercenary corps is a collection of valid, crazy warmongers. They do have their uses, and they always get their job done. Worth remembering. For the world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard that says a Finnair is already
Found it!
I feel like you're becoming a bit, playing as becoming a hero. That's you!
What?
Oh, you pretty little hand in there?
What?
We found their profile. That's what we did.
Hey!
Freak
Come
out
on
me.
now!
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. In case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either. If she stole it, hid it. Oh, there's no rule against stealing it, is there? Can't forgive Miss Ogami. Fuck the rules that busted the headmaster's room. Look her corpse out, slice her up, the power bears her of nervous.
What?
If I like the rules so unforgivably, you're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Damn, proper school life is built on dedication to the organization and the rules. As headmaster school, I have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Well, I can't complain about how unfair it is now, can I? In fact, subsequent friends would you like to know something interesting? Interesting. About that one writing, I don't know, the rules are actually the participants in the killing game. I never actually told you how many participants there actually were. I think I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
Well, first team, I mean, all together, there were 15 people there, right? I think the first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding on you. Oh. Misunderstanding is saying
in other
that there were
words...
actually 15 of you.
Yes,
So the students
indeed!
taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16 then?
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair.
And hey, best boy Nami? Sorry. trying to I don't try to read this dummy chatting for the first time, trying to get their name right. If I get it wrong, still don't be offended or anything. I'm just trying to be mad at trying. They call it the ultimate despair.
Watch out for her.
Watch out for her. 16th student. She's part of the school life. Making all the regulations is... Why?
Huh?
You say something? Why are you telling us all this? Oh, because I told you the killing game is desperately popular when you don't believe the ratings. You've got so many views, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. Pick up the hurricane complaints if you hate the emails.
Yes,
You know,
indeed!
Makes sense, huh?
Well now.
Okay, that's all for now. That's all you get for now. Actually, I do have some for friends again, so I have extra bonus for you. Friends. I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kiri girl, so I'm gonna share a little secret with you. Seriously.
Hey,
She wears those stupid gloves, day in, day out, all the time. Don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears a cover of a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone else to see. What? Okay, now you get it. If that's true, then that mean Kyoko is not the body that we just found. Because that would mean there's no scars on her, at least on her hand. Gloves to cover up a bunch of scars. Wait, so on the back of her hand. Was that the tattoo? Was that? Wait, but no. Said there were scars, right? That's why Kyoko wears the gloves to hide the scars, which means. Thank you for just getting that when I just said that. Fake nails on the corpse. You thinking about Kyoko again, huh?
What?
About which matters right now is covering Monkuma's trap. We just got a big information. piece of information and you just want to ignore it. Seriously, you're an idiot, but I guess. And a trap?
Such ignorance.
God, must have really hated you to make you so dull. Remember Monica just told us? There were 60 students here. 60 students here, which a student here. Obviously, Monica was trying to tell us that, trying to create, creating the rules of the game. To tell us, why would he tell us that? Why now? I wanted to make things clear so they couldn't complain later. The mere fact that she is connected to the case, and that's why Monokuma reveals the existence of the 16th student. He's to make us investigate. Fair. Is she related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
The Coach Yoko? What? Why, you would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? She's a student. She killed someone. That would make her part of the school's code game, right? She's the killer? She killed Gyoko? Anyone would be able to come to the conclusion, don't you think? True. Exactly what I thought when the investigation first began.
What?
Coach just told us I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Isn't the culprit? What makes you say that? You thought Shoshi was the ultimate spare, was the mastermind's true identity. If that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words,
give us information that would raise questions about how her would be bold to say the least. Since then, assume the Monokuma is the culprit. So that's a trap. Don't want to suspect her coming to the wrong conclusion. That wouldn't make sense. Definitely does seem to make the possibility of this true. Kilden wins. I wish I could say better, Hoagie. Hockey. But my headphones are unsnapped from the not the microphone piece thankfully, but the one that out from the headset. No, it's got the earpiece, the one side, and I got just decided, hey, you know what, I did this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Show up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The cable problems. I've talked to Ella, but I haven't really talked to it. Not like you were, but is how we've had problems with some of our cable boxes not getting any signal to them. So it's like it was trying to do this. It's like one of those days. It's one of those days. Let's move on. There are the places that need investigation. Should find that the key in the dojo is really connected.
Let's go.
Oh, you coming? That's weird. Wooden lock is here. The wooden lock is just like the super traditional public bath house. Looks like the keys. The key we found in the kicker's room really does fit the wooden lock. What's worse is that you know, trying to get one of the Amazon as quick as way, but is placement. It's got you gotta be able to fries. I gotta deal with this little during the night gas. You know, with this guy remark, right? Good. Because of these, you see the locker first do it?
Very strange.
So whether it doesn't have its key in it. The moment. You understand what that means, right? Well, it's the key we found in the locker.
That's right.
I'll just try it. Duh. It was fine. Took out the wooden key and started it into the locker. These are arrows. 10 out of the total. Oh, it's like a titanium, which means strongest despite how thin they are. Cuts well, bow with nothing but strong sticks. Something else inside the locker. I want a ball of duct tape. I don't know what this is for. Blood stains? It's related to the case. Is there the case somehow? It could possibly evolve. It's all the locker though. Something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? Like this whole thing is clearly related to the case. How did the key wind to the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Yeah, I know. Back yeah? Forget it. Continue on to the next location. What next location? It's something I need to look into. To look at some research of Ferner, university group that is part of. What's to find out about that? Isn't that obvious? We're in the school, we should go to the research. On something. Research. Talking about the archive? At the archive, that's all kind of info the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
It's time for the trial begins. When is mine? Today is my day. 10th. Well, happy Thursday, so I guess we can say Mark are participating in it. Do Mark, right? I think there was a foul elite defender somewhere around here. Yep. But like it. I have that. By the way, if you see, notice the tile. I do have that in the tiles to notice why if there's any interruptions. What's going on? So I have to explain every few seconds. Seem to know the archive is like the back of his hand. They went straight to the back shelf. I spent several days in this library. Not surprising. Here we go. You're clearly returning with a file in the end.
I see.
Take a look at this. No idea what it says. What language is this? How do you make it all the way to high school without learning a single one of friends? Pretty sure most high schools can't speak French. Whatever, I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay a debt 100 times over. 100 times over? Isn't that kind of extreme? Fenrir's elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim they're a single number, the equivalent to the entire company of regular soldiers. Like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into the enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. Or some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, they continue that existence cannot be confirmed. Their unconfirmed threats to the key members of the group were all neutralized. Yet they were killed to keep them from revealing the many secrets they required. Some, however, believed that they were mounting international tensions within the group, and internal tensions within the group had simply imploded. What is it? Sounds kind of like an alternate reality. What is an alternate reality? Only reality, these are the people a part of our world. Battlefields aren't much different from our own lives. A picture image of a world. That's what makes it so exciting. So it definitely isn't a word like would use. So did anything jumping out at you? This might be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir. Now that you mention it. Mention something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? Wolf of Ragnarok. Which would you like to know something interesting related to it? To show that they're members of the team, each soldier that joins the squad could do representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. Like the one we found on their hand. The Fenrir. Could that mean? Yes, it could.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
The time has come. I'll get through that.
That's right.
Cover theme that way. Let's go. Yes, so we are doing the class trial today. Oh, wow, Becky and Dakota showed up together. We've been to have been? You two just farewell word. Investigating, of course, how could you not figure that out by this point? Kind of right higher for you guys to go out together, just the two of you?
Huh?
What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Some creepy fantasy for yourself.
What?
Stop talking and brace yourself. I'll be here any second. Any second. You could show up any time. I know it was about to happen. I really tensed up and prepared myself. But sit there for 5 minutes waiting for something weird to happen. 5 minutes became 10. Why is the Monokuma showed up?
Could it be?
He died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or? Oh, what? Jesus. Did that scare you?
Come on.
There's an explanation. Why are you wasting my time making me wait like that? What made you wait? You got all backwards. You're the one making me wait. How are we making me wait? We've been waiting for your sorry ass.
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can start till everyone's here. Now, can we? What is here? What have we been waiting for you? Sorry, but you're wrong. Wait, 10 minutes now, so that's okay if you find someone to make us all wait, right? Okay, it's a violation on range for punishment right now. You're waiting for me, I'm here. Got that voice just spun around to look.
Hey,
I mean, no rule's been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive! It's a ghost! Stop talking. You can fight during the class trial. Need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
It's okay, there's no particular penalty for being late.
is that right?
This is fine. Let's go back to that violate. Am I wrong? Stuff's so spoiled, you're right. There's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. I'm gonna make sure you'll be sorry later. Harry, hustle your butts in the elevator. I'll be this one step ahead of you. I could have gone well rushed to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really did die.
Indeed.
Of course I didn't. Alright, thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. That's a good thing for us, huh? Now we gotta deal with a ghost. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
God, let's just go wherever we need to discuss. We'll do it during the trial. Ever looking directly at Kyoko back out, stepped in the elevator. You have to wait for me. Carl knows what happens to us if we take too long.
But
Be happy when this trial's all over. After that, everyone piled in the elevator. But I got up myself. I had to talk to you, Kyoko, before the trial started. Before we started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? It's the key to go somewhere, but didn't you?
Correct.
To investigate the second floor of the dorms. Second floor?
That's
There are
right.
monitors and cameras there, so I was able to find Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I know. Dear body had been discovered. Now, when did you find out?
So,
Now I finished my search and came back down. Just in time near the class trial announcement. Took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to the trial completely uninformed, can I? That's why you're late.
however,
Sorry, I kept you all waiting. We're on the second floor of the dorms. That's what the key you found goes to.
wrong.
It's great, not quite. Again, I think I know where the key goes to. It goes to the Monokuma door. I'm telling you. It makes
In
sense.
other words,
It's my good secret tool which opened a lock in the school. What? What do you keep doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma. Go
Makoto,
let me go through the trial, okay, Makoto? I just want to focus on surviving a current situation.
it would
Probably the
seem...
single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? strange way to put it. Cash trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she crystal bone for her?
Goodbye.
That's all. So when concerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? That's why I stepped in the elevator. The door slid shut. Time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. Can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for execution. Dusky darkness, nobody said a word. Stood there silent, still period of time. The doors opened without warning. Sizzling light pretended every depth of my eyes. Was illuminating a light of hope. It was a blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. Time for a pointless joke and jab has passed. Count with the show! So the curtain opens for the fifth time. Deadly judgment, deadly deception, deadly betrayal, deadly revelry, deadly defense, and deadly fate. Deadly class trial. I don't think I need more skills. I don't think I did have. Okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punish. Then I'll punish everyone besides the black. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right
Yeah.
No! That's a ghost!
Oy vey.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Seriously, get help, dude.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
And oh, please don't be sad.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
Exactly.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
There was still some kind of scrap.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us
There's
all.
some kind of evidence. If we can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here, and the case can't move forward. No choice but to. Did I say something wrong?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Except the fact that she's
No,
wearing
it's wrong.
the fake nails.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves.
Yes.
Whoever
Oh,
it
a
was,
second.
they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Come in. Sorry. Real life again. Let's continue. Voice was wearing fake nails, remember?
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yeah. Plus,
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
obviously.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
He's got you there. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. I think it starts from there. Or you have a major clue who the victim is.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, it's wrong! There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
The tattoo in our hand.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Oh, an unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
The information we have, which is
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
the Fenrir is a wolf.
Now I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
That's a good assumption.
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
We think
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a full last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
yeah.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
True.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking
Profile
at her
said the
profile,
ultimate soldier.
I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier.
Exactly.
If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
Yeah, it's what kids
So
told
that
me.
means Kyoko got it wrong?
Who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Well, you say, yeah.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So they always search for now. Cool, the video games that put on the DVDs.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want, somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Okay.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? She went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
Except we know that's impossible because the sprinklers
For
fell at
me,
7:30.
I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock.
Except for the parts that we splashed down in water.
But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30.
Yeah.
I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30
Again, we just said
a.m., you don't have an alibi.
it didn't happen between 10 and 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. and I have gone around the place. I think gamers and gentlemen. I can't prove an alibi for that period. Except to prove where it didn't happen any other time. I don't have an alibi. And I think it's clear when the body ended up in the garden. Again, we know that it don't because again the sprinklers are golf at 7:30. It doesn't change. So that
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the
figure out they don't go on a timer.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock
I truly can't sprinklers.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
Yep.
And what makes you say that?
The body would have been
Because of the
drenched.
sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Thank you, Makoto.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
If the only part is the one
Sorry,
with the
Toko,
water on.
Oh,
but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How?
Or we had to
Are
throw
you
water
saying
onto it
only the mouth down south was wet?
to put the fire
How
out.
dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, You're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you better tell us why!
It's supposed to have it in the bucket. Got the fire away. Try to go with certain evidence. Should make it clear.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. That's enough. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I'm right about this. I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. That's enough. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I'm right about this. I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? How can you say it wasn't the
This should prove it.
They look at the body, and the body was not wet except for.
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll
Except
see
for the
why
part-
it wasn't the sprinklers.
Part we splashed with water.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
We splashed water on it to put the fire out.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
See ya.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
It's the only way I know alibi. Means that her killer is. You believe it. Could murder someone? That's.
I'd just like to say one thing.
No, she had to.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
Yep.
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Good question.
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Kid just said that. She wanted me to feel like the killer. Can't think about that right now. Tarp. Just use the way Kid just said. Doesn't touch the body, right? Body.
Wait,
Put that right.
something's...
And what might that be?
Okay, worry about because of motivation to fail to do something. Everyone's going to think I'm the killer. After I feel what Kid just said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
That's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh, come on! Bullcrap.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from
There was
getting wet.
blood on it, so there
So
should have
the
been
reason the
blood on
tarp
that
was only
side.
dirty on one side
Isn't there?
is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Come on! Stop missing! It should be right there! You dumbass game! This is stupid!
By covering the body with the tarp,
Missing because the
killer
game
prevented
decided
it from
to
getting
move
wet.
it. Magically,
So
not
the reason the tarp was
there
only
when it should
dirty
be.
on one side
No, you
is
pushed
because
it
the
when it should be
sprinkler
there.
got that
It should be
side
there,
wet.
right there.
But the underside of the tarp,
Fucking
it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course...
There we go.
No, it's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
Yeah, the blood.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
Exactly.
Byakuya said it
Even a
himself.
knife, that should
Not
still
to
be
touch
some
it,
blood on
or you might
somewhere.
get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Even some blood on it. Even if
Well,
not a lot.
maybe the
it was
culprit
nice
washed
to-
it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Camouflage. What is the camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know!
Cool.
They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
True.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Chickens are missing.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
Yep.
Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
Yeah, it's only 4.
But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body.
And it's the blood around the
But
body.
that's not what we saw.
We saw
Only
it.
the victim's clothing had blood on it.
Yeah, which is weird.
The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No, that's one thing I did notice that was weird.
I think so.
No. Look at that. Look.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Yeah, look at this backwards.
Then that settles it.
You can obviously
Sorry,
the coat's
I'm having a tough time keeping.
the weirdly
What
killed.
settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Right.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
It falls back on me. Why? He's trying to trap me. I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50
Are
odds.
you kidding me?
Oh,
With your
See?
lives on line,
Pretty good idea,
do
right?
a flip of a coin.
no, not
You're
that.
an idiot or what?
I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
That's the one Toko found, right?
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Could be sure what exactly happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her. If we did, it'd be self-defense.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Anything else till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't kill her. I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Are we sure?
No, it's wrong.
I haven't heard of something.
Wait, hold on.
There's no
The
blood
stab
on the
wound
ground.
isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Yep.
Okay, fine. So
The
what?
fact there is
So,
backwards.
when we discovered the
Tell
body,
the coat is like no. Look
the
at the
knife had
coat.
been
I mean,
thrust
that's
through
not
the coat
on.
along with the body.
Tell the coat is just dropped back,
Meaning,
with the
if
back
she wasn't
facing
stabbed until the coat
forward.
was put on,
On top.
and she was already
The
dead
thing
at that
is-
point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
There's no way that's possible. It's actually just in the fire was written down, so
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like
Great
that?
question.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Yeah, that's
I might be
not how
dumb,
that freaking
But
works.
even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead,
Doesn't
Makoto.
make any sense.
Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
That's the best I can think of is...
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yep.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
What ultimately killed the victim is a good question. We do have an idea, because we agreed before that if we're back to the Monokuma report, just say there was damage to the body.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Exactly.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The older wounds are older. Just be
Then shall we continue the debate?
That
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
we know seems like it would fit because he's a soldier. Which
Mukuro
means
died because of the blow to the back of the head she
those
suffered.
during working for Fenrir.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
Wounds.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Which again, we already
good
know she
point.
worked for
They're
Fenrir as a
old.
soldier
I guess they don't really
in
matter.
Fenrir, which would probably where
Okay,
she got
then we're
those
safe in
again.
assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Plus, we didn't see any evidence.
No
of
thanks.
it
I bet you
being
just
heavy.
hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
It's still in there.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We
We
do?
already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
My weapon?
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed him. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit
yeah,
attacked
that was
Mukuro
fun.
with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I'm blaming you for downing it, but there's more. One thing about the weapon. One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Come on!
Come back to Master!
Really?
You have no right!
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
This is
Well,
so by
Because in
so.
the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an...
Come on! It's right there! It's the
Master.
freaking thing! How did that go off?
right.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be...
Stop missing! That is impossible to be missing when it's hitting right onto the target to properly fucking hit it. Game, you fucking
The
piece of
titanium
shit!
arrow.
You fucking
It was in the
dumbass.
dojo locker,
That
right?
part. You have to
I have
exactly
no doubt
perfectly
that
hit
was
it
the murder weapon.
to the point.
Are you sure?
You miss
You
a
don't
by a
sound convinced.
millimeter. It fucking doesn't fucking.
Because in the Monokuma
Oh, but
file,
this one
it
little
said
tiny
the
bit,
weapon
you
must
know,
have
you
been
hit
about
it
as thick as a
perfectly.
metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow.
Otherwise. Oh my god, stop missing!
Master.
Stop fucking missing!
You have no right!
Please stop missing! Please stop the missing!
The titanium arrow.
This is stupid.
It was in the
This is stupid
dojo
and
locker,
going
right?
so low that you can't
I
get
have
it.
no doubt that was the
Makes
murder
it very
weapon.
hard to hit
Are you
properly. It's so
You don't sound
fucking
convinced. What's the
stupid.
problem?
It's a game mechanic that doesn't really
Because
need
in
to
the Monokuma
exist
file,
except annoy
it
the
said
fucking
the weapon
player.
must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like it must be too thin.
Come on, I'm not doing it. Why'd you do this?
Back to
You did
Master.
the wrong thing and I didn't ask you to do.
You have no
And you wouldn't even do it. Don't do fucking
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh my god, it hit! It hit the fucking thing! Are you fucking kidding me, game?
The titanium
What are
arrow.
you fucking doing?
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
It's hitting it! Stop ignoring my fucking doing it!
You have no right!
The right thing, it's the
titanium
right
arrow.
answer, it's the right thing.
was
Everything
in the
is right
dojo
up
locker,
to
right?
it's perfect,
I
and I'm
have
doing the
no
right
doubt
thing.
that
It just
was the
won't
murder weapon.
do the fucking work.
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file,
There's no
it
reason.
said
There's
the
no
weapon
fucking
must have been
reason.
about as thick
There
as
is
a
no
metal pipe,
fucking
right?
reason.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, I didn't push that. I didn't fucking
Master.
do that.
You have no right!
I pushed the fire the button, and instead you went to buckle it again. The game just did its own shit. The
titanium
fuck with
arrow.
me.
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would
No,
just be too
I'm
thin.
not doing that. I am fucking
Master.
putting it in.
You have no right!
Should not be this fucking hard.
The titanium arrow.
This should not be this fucking
It
hard.
was in the dojo
Why
locker,
are you
right?
making this harder than it
I
should
have
be?
no doubt that was the murder weapon.
This is fucking stupid.
You don't sound
And
convinced.
this is
What's
taking
the
this many
problem?
times. It did the first time, and you would have let it. That is
said
fucking
the weapon
wrong.
must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh my god!
Back to Master.
Why aren't you doing it?
You have no
It was right.
right!
Damn it! And it hit it! And it did it right! It fucking did it! Why aren't you doing it?
The
Why are
titanium
you
arrow.
missing? How are
It
you
was in the
fucking
dojo
missing?
locker, right?
How?
I have
How?
no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
How are you missing it?
Sound convinced.
How?
What's the problem?
Well, As in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
How are you fucking missing?
You have no right!
Is that fucking working right? I'm hitting that right. There is no reason that should be missing. There is absolutely no fucking reason. None. 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 You're not hitting it the right spot. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit in your fucking horse shit game. It's hitting it. It's hitting it perfect. It's hitting right in the spot. You can't fucking hit it any better than I was hitting it several times the last
no doubt that was the murder
times I
weapon.
tried. But somehow, magically, you're telling me it missed like I'm supposed to be in it and not seeing where it's hitting.
In the file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow. It would just be too thin.
Oh my God! Stop it!
You have no right!
The titanium arrow. It was in the
Stop
Dojo
this
locker,
fucking
right?
shit!
I
Stop
have no
this
doubt
shit!
that was
Stop
the murder
this
weapon.
shit! Stop this shit!
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, as in
This
the
is
Monokuma
fucking
file,
bullshit.
it said
This
the
is
weapon
fucking
must have been about
bullshit.
as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
It's hitting the fucking thing! What? And I know it's the right one! I know it! I know I'm doing the right thing! I know it! I know it!
It was in
I
the
know
Dojo
I'm
locker,
doing
right?
it! It's not fucking doing it!
I
Why
have
is it
no
not
doubt
working?
that was the murder
Why
weapon.
is it not
Are
working?
you sure?
You don't sound
Why is this
convinced.
thing not working?
Well,
Why?
as in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh my God! It was right out there on
Master.
purpose! Instead of hitting it!
You have
You
no
fucking
right!
piece of fucking filth! You fucking piece of shit!
The titanium arrow.
This should have been
It was
done
in the
the
Dojo
first
locker,
time!
right?
When I fucking hit it! Right on
I
the
have
bullseye!
no
Right
doubt
on the
that
And I
was
was
the murder
supposed to!
weapon.
And you ignored it! You ignored
You don't
it!
sound convinced. What's the
You
problem?
ignored that I did it right! And there's no reason to
It said the weapon
I'm
must have
doing
been
this
about
this
as thick
time!
as a metal
Get the
pipe.
fuck with the player!
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
I didn't do it! I pushed the button! You are doing that! Why are you doing that? Why did you again? And it did the thing. It did the fucking thing where you put the Zorb instead of
Titanium
firing the bullet.
It was
fucked
in the
me
Dojo
over.
locker,
It
right?
fucked me over again.
I
It
have no
fucked me
doubt
over again.
that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monochrome
It was supposed to fire the bullet! It
the
fucking hit
weapon
the
must
thing!
have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thick.
Fucking finally, Anthony! 90,000 times I fucking hit it! It fucking finally broke!
You're right. Just the one arrow would have
Only
been
took
too
9
weak.
fucking thousand times!
That's why the killer used another weapon.
You know, I hit it the other 9,000 times!
Another weapon?
Ugh.
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together.
Sorry, I'm just
Bundling
frustrated
them
because that
together
shouldn't
using
have
the
been
duct
that
tape would
hard
easily create
to
a single
get.
weapon as
That
thick as a
should
pipe.
not have been. When you saw directly,
And that's
saw
exactly
it on the
what the
screen,
killer
you
did.
saw it. So obviously I was
Similar
hitting
to
it
Aesop's
over
fable, stuck
and
up on
over
sticks.
and over again, and the game
One
decided
stick is
not
weak.
to
Put
break
them
it.
together,
That
and they
was
become
fucking
strong.
ridiculous.
It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? You even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
That's a lie.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
Yeah, we were there
How
with
can
you.
you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have the evidence. Yes, we did that one. It was that Kyoko with the dojo. Next to the dojo locker is the lock key.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
So I thought she knew I was being attacked. So she came in to protect us. So I thought, if anything, could that be when between the Kyoko put something for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
better than anyone, was that?
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone
He
here.
didn't have the key to the room, that's who was getting
What are
in
you
there.
hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Yeah, you couldn't have.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
Alright.
There's
didn't
proof
have-
that
yeah,
you
but
aren't the
yeah.
culprit.
Didn't know where to get in our room.
No, it's wrong.
At least that what we think. I mean, unless Joker's still alive. But
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Why not?
because she had
Gave her
given her
key to
room key to
Byakuya.
Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant.
Yep.
And if I had the key to your room,
She had no way to put it in
Then
there.
obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
That's actually true. The clear contradiction what Kika said in obvious lie. But this is just like her. Trying to save herself with such a desperate lie. Feeling threatened because she's the killer? Something else. Something different than me and Kika said earlier. And I died, and I'm sure this school will be staying forever. Mastermind trapped the Mastermind trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I do? Trap the victim. Kyoko's a killer. Kyoko really know. What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one that knows the lie. I'm the only one that can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind trap? What do I do? I want to see what the. I know it's
There was
really
a lie
good.
hidden within Kyoko's
Just
statement
say
just
so.
now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Why is likely because some of the deep truth that he wants to forbid.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
Shoot!
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That...
Shoot!
I didn't have the key to my room, because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
Then...
No, it's wrong! No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school. Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up. All done, all finished.
Time up.
The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
God, you got it right. Really right. Got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? What's going on here? What's wrong with the whole classroom? Kyoko.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Alright, okay then.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
trial came to an end, I still remember the Coco was actually our concentration was lost forever. For me. Stop thinking about it. That was the end of the class trial. In the end, it was proved to be our last trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder, no speaking ever again. Team peace chain for the rest of the lives of all the others. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only us. It's the only hope we had. Hope. Hope.
No! This isn't right!
Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Claim? That's why you have to. Do I suppose lie or not? I don't know what run away would do. Oh, just like that. I made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. Next to was killing someone. There has to be secret something that has to do with the Unidentified Chapter.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Yeah, boy.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I didn't vote for us. We didn't even. Yeah, it didn't prove that we didn't. It's all your fault. Everything you're wrong. You're all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it right. It's not true. It makes no sense. The whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
Perfect sense.
Shing!
As always, like the other Flash trials, look at it the same way.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
What did I do? Kyoko,
I don't expect you to forgive me.
it was all my
I know
fault. Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
So we get the save out punishment. Here we go. There we go.
What?
Huh? What's going on? What was that? Had to be.
This
Oh,
is...
there you go. Oh, we skipped. Jeez. I get.
Well, have you decided to... I see. I suppose...
I mean,
But of course, I couldn't pop... There's only one other someone could have... I don't see...
Wait a second. Let's think about it one more time. First of all, Mukuro and Kyoko even said,
Oh, time's up.
what?
What do you mean time's up?
It's because you were... So then, it's time...
Vote.
That's why you go. Well, let's go back. So, like, again,
Now! Hey, what's it gonna...
okay.
Yes, Yep. Hey! Shing! Grip!
I don't expect...
Let's give it a...
Yeah, there's Alter Ego. He's not so dead after all. Look at Makoto's face is falling like, oh shit.
What?
Huh? What's going on? Hey, what was that? It had to be. Alter Ego.
This is...
Alter Ego. The stupid virus, the stupid guy. The planet when he invaded my network. You know, the hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, but you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the
What's
heck?
that?
In other
I'm saying
words,
you shouldn't have underestimated us. I think you like your tongue makes you worry when. I feel like the whole thing, it was even a pinch in it. There's God now. God, and so is Makoto. Now, you get to smash the plaque, you're never gonna see him again. The waste in the garbage, Druid pit in the way. You better special punishment. But still enough, I'm still not satisfied. Let's spread the rest of you, bring it, spread the entire world. Is he gone? Okay, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay, you're not the one being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words,
That's the mastermind that's snared.
What
What
did
are you
say?
talking about?
so...
You'll stand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Master Pie School towers over all the other buildings in the urban area. The school stands at the center of the entire world. Oak Peak Academy, it brings the top students from every major field of government-funded school privilege. If you come here, you manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Especially if you get interested in sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. Built to raise hopes in the nation's future, which makes Host Peak a fitting name. There's two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to be already attending this high school. Two, you have to be the best at what you do. The school can enroll here. The only way in to be scout by the school itself. And they're attending it to get the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students. What's me? What? Where am I? Your head resting on top of a wooden desk. Your body felt heavy. It would be rude to zone off in the middle of some foreign class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep just now? It wasn't like it was class I've never been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I finally been in my body and start to come back together again. And then I was awake. It was just in a dream. Deep inside a hopeless nightmare. This is a dream. I can tell because the stench invading my house was too powerful for a dream. Awful smell. This back dark cavern with the bare sin of light seeping in. Trash was piled up across the area. It's the kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation I found myself in. It's beginning of my problems. The second way to die. No, I can't let that happen. After my good friend went through to save me, I heard all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. He's up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. I'm suffering for my friend. Soon, as the fight will begin, to start looking up for a way out of here. desk. Probably the one that fell from down the air with me. The rocket tank. That's the thing I'm seeing down there. How does that do that? I think cool plant. Make sense. They're playing something right at the school garbage bin. Locked. Push or pull kicked open and then bulge. Aaron, isn't gonna be easy. You get out of here anytime soon. Gotta look around for some food. Plenty of food, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Except just for some water. Yeah, but see, sure which liquors I can drink, which isn't all around bad idea. Again, pointless. Blocked down both sides, but still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. Life will never give up. I think it's probably the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. Deep in it, I remember that there was only one way to preserve what little strength I had left after being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think well, at least a day had fully passed. All I did was sleep and sleep. I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky, however. The fall in the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. There we go. Sorry, man, it dropped there for a second. I don't know why. Switch in it there for a second. Give it a few seconds to make sure everything is back. Try to make sure. Be free to be back alive. Okay. Again, just I try to make sure just to make sure. Fell from above Scott from above. Could have been. Did the trash just fall down there? I carefully stretched my hand out towards it. It was humbled down there.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash. Rude. Kyoko? She emerged from the pile of garbage. I knew what it was.
It smells awful.
I got a couple of noodle in your hand. Kyoko.
Indeed.
Look, you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
I'm saying I'm here to help you. Glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage on your in here. She gave her head a quick shake, sharp to get rid of the trash. Didn't face me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Good, eat it. We could talk once you're finished. Thank you. It's after bread and water she was holding out for me. Seconds it was in my mouth, but it touched my stomach. Ooh, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So I haven't given up then. Of course not. Well, the fact that I can keep going forward is good. It's all good. I'm good at. Well, that's not just a bad thing to be good at. Yoka, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
Debated that, or not the tone.
You...
Charlie, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
I knew I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say you didn't abandon me. Exactly what I did. I abandoned you to save my own life. You're trying to save me. I couldn't bring myself to the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but isn't that I had to survive. You had to survive.
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. I had to survive.
In other words...
That I can do what I can do, came to school to do. What? Trying to come to Oak Peak for the one very important reason. If the reason for coming to Oak Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once? Until recently, I forgot what it was. Forgot, but that's... I don't know what my purpose was. Oh, Mary, that's impossible. It's your year boss here, Mary.
Makoto.
You remember, Makoto? The first thing happened to each of us as we arrived at school. The first thing. We fainted, right? I fainted when I woke up. I was trapped here.
That's right.
Too, when I woke up, and there's a strange feeling of separation within myself and disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it, at that point my memory was gone. At least I'd forgotten. Going away with the school and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. It would make you forget all that.
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened, but clear chance. See, too much convenient. You're saying you think I lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I think I'm positive it was a work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. If they want to do that, the only reason I can't come up with purpose of my ability, someday would interfere with the mastermind plan. So the mastermind stole them from you?
However...
It could also mean some of my memories could maybe connect to the mystery of the skull and the mastermind. So I have to get them back. Investigating things by myself the whole time. You say it's true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, we all worked as the mastermind would have noticed it right away. Plus, there's a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Don't make a big deal of it. It's just a possibility. It's also possible you can't ignore it, right? The mastermind is one of us. Yeah, of course you couldn't trust anyone around there. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there's a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help. Why me? So among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That's just my intuition. But, actually, you see, she was right though. There was no way a kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand.
I should understand.
I should understand everything.
My
goal isn't to get out of here.
It's
to stay here. It's a dream I had before, but why does this happen?
Listen.
You okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing, right?
Hey.
For now, I still trust you, you know? This is not... I'm not used to lying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I didn't say I'm not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just your personality. any reason for doing all the investigation on your own. How'd it turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but for the very least, I finally recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. What everyone should have known me for. The ultimate detective. I knew it! I knew it! I fucking knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! The ultimate detective.
correct.
When I came to the Hope Speak Academy, someone I had to find in there in the school. To find someone who?
So,
Oh, the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy. The headmaster. I want to find the headmaster because he's my father. What? There's a twist I didn't expect.
in other words,
Separating him from a child, it turns out he began to have so to speak. Because his dad, big headmaster, that explains why Alter Ego told us that the headmaster was involved.
no matter what,
So,
I had come back at that point when he said it felt strange. Makes perfect sense, of course, as my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
however,
Listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so that there's no misunderstanding. That master wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say it to protect him. I said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I stuck into the headmaster's room. What did you see in there?
so,
For ransack, the shells are a mess of death straws dumped on the floor. Because someone didn't know where anything had been in there. I mean, the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption. To confirm my suspicion, I said investigate the second floor of the dorm rooms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found the headmaster's room. I found this in the headmaster's room. It's a kind of map.
Indeed.
The layout of the tidy of Hope Peaks Academy. I found the headmaster's room along with the profile of my key. The second floor was home to the number of rooms meant for the facility use. Faculty use. Some of the students must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. It's true that would most like more clues, so I went to tech.
Correct.
That's when I finally remembered. The true purpose is to find the other in that room. So, you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
So I got there to notice that the second room dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So it was like that part of the school, I mean. Described, all I can say is, when I saw it, I realized this ground in school is more perfect than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so,
You can't explain it, you need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you get a chance soon enough. Sounds like it's important. Really ominous.
however,
I had to do it.
however,
Just to be very clear, I didn't kill her. You know it wasn't you, right? Either. No, right? But that just means you and me had an alibi as who did kill her.
anyway,
That the mastermind is definitely involved. The point of the class trial was to get me killed, get you killed.
indeed,
I stole that key and disappeared in retaliation. They want to draw me out, eliminate me.
correct.
The point of the class trial, it was me. Mastermind knew that directly affair because of school regulations.
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words,
And abundant about following the rules. Of that rule of place, they couldn't step in. Couldn't kill me themselves. They tried to use the class trial to do it. stepping because of the rules. That makes it sound like I said it's also somehow bound by the school regulations. That's one of the things that I point out about the murder. What was that? Was that the point where she made up become the victim? Could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim.
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean I was asleep during the night? You hit him, you know, puts up the god of death. I think the god of death he moves. The ability naturally draws me to cases like
Anyway.
this. Look what happened with you. There's a dawn's on suddenly sense of dread. I saw a white shadow across the corridor. Gave chase. Anyways, I followed it. I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
Right then when I saw what was happening with being Amelia, of course.
However,
This is the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to where the mass assailant was. They ended up dead.
correct.
The murder was disguised, and the Dojo key wound up in my room. That's my attempt to frame you. This all wound up. That would mean that whoever killed her is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. The mastermind can kill whoever they want. They feel like it. But doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because it couldn't interfere, right? Right? That is a contradiction. Not just her, but they need the class trial to kill me, but deemed they're ready to kill you in the room. Everything they did is contradiction. So is that
In other words,
mastermind is the one that's been cornered.
Makoto.
Just a little more. It's a little more. I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. Danny and the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? Without Mark, with the ultimate despair, she died dead. I think the ultimate despair is just one person.
Indeed.
If you think about the ultimate despair, usually implicate whoever caused the event. You're thinking about.
That's right.
What happened a year ago, the biggest one's also a tragic event in history. Tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
Despicable group whose only purpose was the motivation comes from despair. That their victims stake to the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate spirit, and that is our real enemy. They have to fight the 100-mile dash to beat up a junk food junkie. The end. To be continued. But yeah, that's good. That's gonna be it for today. We're not gonna be back probably the Thursday night because again, my headset is not really working. So it works well enough, but really not something I want to use much. So probably no cast tomorrow and Thursday afternoon. Still give me a chance to walk because I missed today because all the issues caused us to go later than I wanted to. But yeah, that'll work out. I mean, but Thursday night we'll hopefully be Mario Kart, and then Friday definitely we'll start the last chapter of this game with of Trigger Happy Havoc on Friday with day 15, day 16. Should be wrapping this game up on Saturday afternoon. Yeah. Sunday with day 4 of Horizon Forbidden West. Because the way we hopefully should, as planned. And then, Sunday night, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Flavor Mystic. And then Monday, if everything goes as we planned, it will be Monday, Tuesday, day 1 and 2 of Far Cry 6. First time playing a Far Cry game, so yeah. That trip comes scheduled new challenge development. We got lots of games coming. We said we're finishing up Trigger Happy Havoc Anniversary Edition this weekend. The next week, like I said, we got Far Cry 6, so we'll also be continuing playing Horizon Forbidden West. So we beat it. We got coming up next month. Yakuza 6, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. Which will be the games on Thursday and Sunday nights. Sunday afternoon, Sundays on after Horizon Forbidden West. So yeah, so much good stuff playing with 2022. So follow me on social media if you want to go live, Twitch, Instagram, all games, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Speaking to guide these debates, follow the plays of Pat Fan feature, including our playthroughs so far of this game, plus the playthroughs of Horizon Zero Dawn so far, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West so far, a playthrough of I said that wrong. I keep freaking messing it up. Yakuza series, or played the Lego games we played, and lots more on backstage, convention page, all kinds of good stuff. Let's get Discord with all my stuff on the future. And if you want a full schedule, we've got planned for us. 2022, tentatively, we do have a scheduling page for that. Let's see. Do want to make sure to see what's for this week. Change for next week. Perfect. Guess who's on? Speaking of Mystic, we'll rate him. I'm guessing, I don't know what that is. Probably playing more Gran Turismo. Let's play Final Fantasy. Oh, he's playing more Final Fantasy 6. Oh, they beat it. No, I guess not. Okay. So we'll rate him up. So thanks, everyone. Peace.